Welcome back to the Todd Durkin Impact Show, and we have a wowzy today. Yes, my friends, we have a very sentimental episode today, all about the last helmet note ever. That's right. This is going to be a tough one. I'm going to just tell you right now, it's going to be a special one. I'm going to let you in on some insight. I'm going to get as personal as I've ever gotten before. I'm going to share something before it even gets to my son's hands, because this coming week is my son Luke's last college football game. Heck, it's his last football game, period, in an organized fashion anyway. And this is all about my last helmet note ever. And I'm getting ready to head to Valparaiso University, which is in Indiana, this Friday for Saturday's game. And I want to share with you from the heart today, because a tradition was born many, many moons ago that, man, you're going to hear all about why. But I first want to say, as we get ready to embark upon this holiday season, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Christmas is right around the corner. Hanukkah, New Year's. We have a lot of holiday traditions starting on up. And believe it or not, as I drop this podcast, we just concluded our Montana mountain retreat. And oh my goodness gracious, I love the mountains. I love Montana. And close to 100 people were in the mountains getting their minds right and working on their God-sized dreams planner. And the planner is something I've been doing now for several years. Many of you have been using it. And it's coming out the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. I'm way ahead of schedule this year. I started it in August and recently completed it. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It's coming out November 29th. And if you could do me a favor, if you've ever used my annual strategic plan for planning your best year yet, could you just drop me a DM or even an email? And I would love a 1 or 2 sentence testimonial on that, because as we get ready to put this out into the universe, I know that we want to reach even more people. And the God-Sized Dreams planner is really going to be special. And I've got some really cool things this year that I'll be doing that, well, I'm holding it up. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm holding up my annual strategic plan. I cut it into 2 this year. I've got my annual strategic plan and my daily and monthly planner, which is the actual scheduler, right here. And I'm excited about that, because if you just want the annual strategic plan, which is filled with my top questions, there's 10 sections that if you could spend 5 to 10 hours in the next 6 weeks or so really working on your best life and what you have to do, I've got 64 and then some questions that you can use. And I just want you to do at least the first 3 sections. Those are mandatory. Anyone listening right now should do the first 3 sections mandatory. The rest are optional. That's called and then some. So take a look. It's not out yet, but it's coming up. I'm really excited about that. But if you have used it in the past and it has benefited you in any way, can you please just drop me a DM with 1 or 2 sentences, and I'll use your name and your business name in some future promotions for the God-Sized Dream system that we use. So thank you very much for that. So without further ado, let's dive in to today's episode called My Last Helmet Note Ever. What is a helmet note? These are notes I stick in the football helmet the night before a game. So when my son, Luke or Brady, would put their helmet on the next day for a game, you would see this note in there, and it was a note from me. And it was just a final little note to say, I love you, I'm proud of you, and go out there. And I'd always have some wisdom. And how did all this get started? Honestly, it goes way back to when I was a kid. And I'm passing on a tradition that my father started, because the year, I believe, was 1983. And I was in the 6th grade, and we had a Pop Warner football game. It was the Pee-wees. I was a Pee-wee, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. We were playing at St. Joseph's High School. It's now Monsignor Donovan in Toms River, New Jersey. And I went to put on my helmet right before the game. I'm excited. It's my first official football game. And all of a sudden, I see there's a note in my helmet. I'm like, what is this? It was on the back of a McDonald's menu, and it said this: "It's your first football game ever." Well, you've played a lot of pickup football in the backyard and with your friends and in the street, but this is your first one with real referees. Go be you. And then it said, "And for every touchdown you throw, you get a whole pizza. And for every touchdown you run, you get a soda. Go run and throw wild. Have fun today, Dad, high up on the 40-yard line." And I was like, oh my gosh, if I throw a touchdown, I'm getting a full pizza. And if I run one, I'm going to get a soda. Well, yeah, you think about parents and negotiation and different tactics. Even back then in 1983, parents were using those tactics because it worked. I'll never forget. I threw for 2 touchdowns and I ran for 1. That meant that after the game, we were going to get 2 full pizzas and a soda. I was so excited and I looked forward to that so much. And it's funny how a little note meant so much to me at a young age. And that started a tradition. And every game for the rest of my Pop Warner and high school career, I received a helmet note from my dad. And they were always short. They were punchy. They were fun. They were inspirational. And there was always some wisdom in there. There was always some wisdom about the future. And I think back, and if I had saved all of my helmet notes, that would have been a book right there. So fast forward many, many, many years to when my oldest son, Luke, was in the 7th grade and started playing football. Guess what I did? Yep, a helmet note. And then Brady started playing 1 year after Luke did. And he started getting them. And then McKenna started playing soccer and lacrosse. And she started getting them. Well, she started getting Cleat Notes, but it was the exact same idea. Well, nowadays, we obviously have text messaging. Back in my days, they did not. But I still love to write an old-fashioned, good old handwritten message that goes in the cleats of McKenna or the helmets of now Luke. Well, this upcoming weekend is my son Luke's last football game. And I am emotional and I'm choked up about it. It's been since the 7th grade that every football game he's ever been in, he's had a note. Every one. Pop Warner, high school, and college. That's 11 years of letters. That averages, let's say, if there's 10 games a season, that's 110 notes or letters. And I don't know if he saved them all, but that could be a book right there. And in that time, I think about the many ups, the many downs, the wins, the losses, the ahas. But the helmet note was never about just the win. It was never about just the game. And sure, I would say that it had to do with some of the game, but the architecture of every note was more like this. There was the fun introduction. There was the keys to win today's game. There's the mindset aspect of what it was going to take to compete at your highest level. There was always some form of life wisdom. And then there was always a message, and still is, a message from grandfather, sir, my dad, because my dad loved helmet notes, and he's the one who started this tradition. So I started at the end of one. It was my way of staying close to my father, who had passed when I was just 20 years old, and my helmet notes stopped. And I was still playing football. And remember, these notes had to remain short and punchy and fun and inspirational and always have some wisdom. But in just a moment, I'm going to read a portion of my last helmet note that I've been working on for Luke for a little while now. And it's going to be a little bit longer than normal, but I'm going to share it with you. And I'm going to share it in the hopes that maybe you can start a tradition with your kids or someone that you love and want to start to write a little bit of a short note, not a long one. My hope is in sharing it in some way, it helps you or someone that you know impact your kids, or your grandkids, or maybe someone you mentor, or even a coach, right? Maybe you want to start a helmet note or a cleat note for yourself because it's all about time, right? It's all about time. So if you would like to listen to the complete helmet note that's going in Luke's helmet this week, stick around and listen. At the very, very end, I'll share that. But my call to action today is this. Please think about this. Number one, who can you handwrite a letter to and make their day. Maybe it's a helmet note or a cleat note. Heck, maybe it's a love note. Yeah, a love note. Has anyone received a love note lately? Has anyone written a love note lately? Can we commit this week to write a love note and let me know how your week goes? Like when you write a love note to your loved one, it could be your kids, it could be your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever it is, but write a love note to your significant other and stick it in her shoes or anywhere else you want to stick it. And maybe her workout clothes. Maybe leave it at the coffee pot so that when you leave in the morning and she gets up or vice versa, whatever, that they see that. So that's number one. Who can you write it to? Number two, what do they need to hear? What do they need to hear? You know, it takes being a good listener and an encourager, and that's what helmet notes do. Heck, you know, it's like spousal notes and you're sharing wisdom that needs to be heard. And the last I checked, no one said, gosh, don't encourage me so much. Don't love on me so much. I'm sick and tired of you loving me too much. Has anyone heard that recently? No, I didn't think so. Me either. No one has encouraged me enough. As a matter of fact, what I sometimes find is some people, AKA trolls, only speak out when there's nothing good to say. How about we turn it around and flip it upside down and we are the ones radiating out positivity? And the third aspect is, when are you going to do it? Is it today? You're going to write a note? Is it this week, this weekend? Maybe your kids have a game this weekend. Maybe it's this upcoming season, but commit to a time frame and get it done. And remember, it does not need to be long. It can be short. It could be simply on the back of a McDonald's menu or a piece of paper, or if your kid does play far away, it could even be a text. And at the top of that, it says helmet note, whatever that is. But think of the generational impact that you can create for the commitment and even the consistency of you taking the time out to write your cleat note or your helmet note every game or every week, whenever that is. So I want to just challenge you today that you write a note this week to someone you love. It could be really short, a short sentence. Maybe you leave it on the windshield of your spouse's car like you used to when you were courting her and you were flirting. Remember that old flirting? Let's get back to that right now. Let's get back to it. This is really good for the soul. It's really good. So without further ado, my friends, I'm going to jump in at the end of this and I'm going to share my helmet note. So thank you for joining me today, and stick around here in just a few seconds. I'm going to share my note, but I want you to start your note as well. God bless you. And remember, train hard, eat right, live inspired, and go create impact. Here's the note, my last helmet note to my son, Luke. Helmet note. Man, I've been working on this for a while, a lot longer than most. But then again, this is your last game, and it's right now. Luke, good morning on a chilly day in Valparaiso, Indiana. Wow, it's your last college football game, and it's your last helmet note. Man, I can't believe it. Well, let's just say it's your last helmet note that you are receiving. Someday down the line, I hope you can do this for your son, or cleat notes for your daughter. But let's not rush that. Don't rush it. You have brought me such joy, Luke, from this crazy game of football. As a 7th grader through Pop Warner, getting to coach you and all your boys. It sure was great seeing a bunch of them recently at the University of San Diego game just a few weeks ago. That was really cool because you brought us all together again. So many memories, winning championships, trips to Northern California, even a trip to the national championship game to see Auburn win the Rose Bowl when you were in the 8th grade. And then in high school, wow, I'd love to go back and look at those helmet notes. What a ride. Transferring from St. Augustine back to Scripps Ranch High School after breaking your arm your freshman year. To having to sit out 5 games your sophomore year and then starting the rest of the time. To starting out really strong and cementing your role for the future. To a magical junior year in the awesome class that was. undefeated to the end and winning a league championship and making it to the CIF finals. And then COVID. Damn COVID. That really screwed things up. No senior year. Fall. Just a shortened spring season. Crazy. And recruiting when everything was shut down. No camps, no campus visits, no official recruiting visits. You were working Twitter like it was your job. You were like a full-time recruiter because we found out how important it was to recruit yourself and not just depend on they will find you when the entire world was shut down. My best part of your high school years, getting to train and coach you and your teammates, Luke. Beach practices, weight room sessions, 7-on-7s in the summer, grueling double days, film, quarterback sessions with Doug Brady and Danny Hernandez and Tom House. Heck, we would even travel across the country when we went to see Tony Raz back in Jersey. It was always about getting better, but it was always about spending time together. But the absolute best part of high school was you and Brady playing together. He loved playing with you. You have always been his big brother and leader of the pack. When I see you two mischiefs together, your mother's and my heart just is so content and happy. Sometimes you think, how did you end up at Davidson in North Carolina? You had some great choices, Luke. Carnegie Mellon, University of Chicago, William and Mary, Long Island, Davidson. Heck, even your opponent today, Valparaiso. Well, God works in mysterious ways, and it's amazing to see the growth and maturation of you, Luke, since you've been at Davidson. Man, Davidson, like high school, so many highs and even some lows. Redshirting your first year, starting your sophomore year and playing at a very high level, and then grade 2, spraining your MCL and having to sit out the rest of the season with 4 games left, to getting named captain of the team and the starter your junior year, to getting benched after the first game your junior year for what I would say as a dad and a coach was complete BS. That was a tough year for you, for me, for us as a family. But man, looking back, you were amazing. You still lead, you still led, you still kept your chin up, you kept working out and staying ready, and you were, whenever your number was called, you performed at your highest level. As a parent, you hate to see your kids walk through, and you walked through it, Luke. Ate it and slept in it. And frankly, sometimes you got to do that. And buddy, you came out smelling like roses. You took that pain from your junior year and that adversity, and you owned it. You took your 3 years of your ROTC military career at the time and said, I'm going to do something with this. And here you are your senior year, and it's your last game of your career. And what a year it's been. You played a ton the first game. You started the second game and got player of the game. And then you separated your shoulder in the third game. Out 3 games, rehabbed it like a bandit, and back for the 6th game. I still wish he would have put you in at the end of that Dayton game when you were down 16-14 and needed to move the ball down the field quickly for a score. But so be it. And it's been nostalgic ever since. I haven't missed a game for a reason. I learned that from my father. And I certainly was not about to miss this one, despite it being frigid in Valparaiso, Indiana. And here we are, man. Luke, I'm not sure what else I can say to you that hasn't been said to you in 11 years. I used to talk about Drew and Chase and Carson and Rip and all the guys. And here you are, a grown man, about to turn 22 years old in just a few weeks. You accomplished all your goals that you set out to do. You dreamt as a young boy of being a D1 football player. And you've done that. And I'm so proud of you. Your commitment, your dedication, not missing weight room sessions or throwing sessions, going against some really tough roadblocks. And you always stayed focused on the mission. You never got too low and you never got too high. But I did worry. Dads and moms can do that. Last year, you took the adversity that was thrown to you and you set your sights even higher by starting a dream to get an ed delay and go to law school. And now you've accomplished that and are awaiting acceptance into some really great schools, Luke. Tennessee, LSU, Oklahoma, South Carolina, University of North Carolina, Rutgers, Washington and Lee, and a great list of other schools. You flourished as a cadet in the Army ROTC, and I'm so proud of you for going to serve our country in the U.S. Army. And I can't wait to see that commissioning at graduation for you to be a second lieutenant upon graduation. Now that is going to be an emotional day. I truly mean this when I say it. The best is yet to come. It were your traits that got you here. It will be those same ones that take you to where you want to go. Remember, number one, choices. It's all about choices. Keep making the right decisions. 2, discipline. The ability to do what others won't so you can get what others can't. You are one of the most disciplined young men I know, Luke. You're studying for 5 months for the LSAT earlier this year with school and football was crazy. You don't skip workouts. You're up early and you get stuff done. Thanks for being you. 3, toughness. Toughness is revealed when the chips are stacked against you. And you got some really good training last year with that. Number 4, get your mind right. Always battle to get your mind right. And you always have. 5, keep leading. Today, on the field, lead. In the Army, lead. At church, lead. And everywhere you go, lead. This country needs great leaders. 6, stay process-oriented. You've always done a great job focusing on the process. You've always done the practice, the film sessions, or prep work necessary to perform well. Keep it up. 7, love what you do and do what you love. Drew talked about this a few weeks ago when he talked to your team out here in San Diego. He said, love ball. Love whatever it is that you do. That's passion, that's purpose, and love it. 8, take care of mom and your brother and sister. Your mom is your biggest fan. Well, after me, of course. Seriously, she loves you so much and so proud of you. I think it's really cool what you did for her last weekend at Parents' Weekend. Very thoughtful. Nothing like the power of some flowers and roses and a handwritten note. And your brother and sister, Brady and you are just funny together, and I love seeing it. You two are different in so many ways, but alike in even more ways. And you both bring out the best in each other. And McKenna, man, does she look up to you, Luke. She watches you like a hawk, and she learns, and you've always believed in her. You've always told her that she's got the best genes in the family, and she always has the biggest smile when you say that to her. You really know how to make her feel special. Keep that up. And number 9, and lastly, stay in faith. You've really grown here and love seeing you in your abode. You've gone to Europe every spring with your church, and I've loved seeing that. You're at church every weekend. Heck, I heard you even went a couple weekends ago after you got back at 4 a.m. from the USD trip, and you went to church just a few hours later and then submitted 5 applications to law school on the same day. I'll stop there. Number 9, that's your number. And today is your day. It's time to go ball out. Luke, let me wrap it up by saying this before I write a book. I'm just sad that I don't get to come watch you play anymore. You brought us all together, and the game of football has been very good to us as a family on many levels. And to see you do your thing is just so special. Someday, I'm not even going to go there. Today, have fun. Sling it. Don't hold back. Run hard. Pass deep. Smile. High five. And like my dad said to me in 1983 during my first game ever, you get a whole pizza for every TD thrown. You get a protein shake. He said soda. For every TD run. Go get yourself some food, son. It's time to eat. Love you, Luke. I can't wait to see you out there. High up on the 40-yard line. And one more thing. Please stop today just one time. Look up. Capture an image in your head and smile and wave at me. It's a memory we will never forget. Love you, son. Go ball. Dad. XO10. In Grandfather Sir's corner, Luke, I have had a catbird seat these last 11 years. I couldn't be more proud of you and have loved seeing how your dad, my son, and you have really bonded through football. Well, I never got to know you. I know you. My spirit was within you, and I'm sorry we never got to spend time together. But your dad's spirit is my spirit, and his spirit is within you. Keep being you in all areas of your life, and I'm excited to keep the catbird seat on your life. I'm here for you wherever you want to talk and whenever you want to talk, and channel some energy. And today, for the sake of God, please throw the ball often, throw it deep, throw it short, run hard, but throw the dang ball. Grandfather Sir, I love you. Today's Impact Show podcast is brought to you by eCore, the best flooring solution in the entire country for health and fitness facilities. And with an incredible mission, they transform reclaimed materials into performance products that improve people's lives. My friends, we use eCore flooring throughout all of our Impact X performance facilities for fitness, for recovery, for the life coaching. It is everywhere, and people are absolutely loving it. If you're a brick and mortar owner looking for a flooring option that can impact the environment and, even more importantly, your client's performance, check out ecoreathletic.com. That's ecoreathletic.com for more information. That's it, my friends. There you have it, a helmet note, a long one. They do not need to be that long, but that's my last helmet note ever that I'll write to my sons. Go out there today and have a great day. Write your helmet note, your cleat note, or your love note, and make it a great day. Until next time, train hard, eat right, live inspired, and go create impact and write a helmet note.